Welcome back, folks. Bonus day. I got a vacation day today, burning one, so why not? If you got a vacation day, come out and work on an original 426 Hemi car, a real one, right? So you saw where we left off on getting the exhaust on this car. Now we got to move back up to the front, and we got some cooling issues to talk about. Now, Johnny had mentioned he went to cruising the coast in this car, and he mentioned he had to keep putting water in it. Well, anytime I see the old turquoise, blue, green colors around the radiator, I know that usually there's an issue. So, also, this is going to be a heck of a topic of conversation. Remember that noise we had? And I'd oscillated it to the water pump. Well, it goes just beyond the water pump. Look at that. Look at that. That's a lot of that rattling right there. And it has probably been banging that bearing or bushing or whatever in this water pump. So I've already got a brand new Mopar Performance high volume water pump to put in this thing. But this is going to be an issue. I'm going to make the assumption there's nothing special about one of these pulleys. I've never seen this happen. Have any of you ever seen that happen? Never have I seen that happen. But this is a Hemi car. Maybe there's things unique about these things. I just don't know. But we're going to go ahead, and before we pull this radiator, I would like to go ahead and pressure test it with my pressure tester and see if we can see any leaks anywhere else. We're going to pressure test it, and then we're going to start draining it, and then getting everything ready to remove the radiator. We're going to remove the shroud, and obviously the fan and the water pump, the whole 9 yards. So let's get started. So just like on Scott's Hurst Olds, we did the pressure test with it on his 69. This is the same kit I used with it. I got it off Amazon. Can't remember how much it was, but it is a very, very handy tool. So it does that basically import and domestic, but it's got all kinds of adapters. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to get our pump and our adapter that goes onto the radiator and start pressure testing Johnny's, I get this thing out, Johnny's radiator, and see if we can see any leaks. Okay, the cap on Johnny's radiator says 16, so 16 pounds. Got some other things we can probably get some of that rust off there, but I'm going to assume that's a 16. Yeah, it is 16. So let's pump this thing up to 16 pounds. Okay, it had dropped. I don't know if that's because I was moving this thing around, quite possible, but we're even kind of watching it here. It is, yeah, it's slowly coming down. Yeah, it is slowly coming down. We don't see any water. I don't know if this is just, it is coming down. So it's not holding pressure. And this tool is in perfect shape. So wherever it's leaking down at, I don't know if it may be internally, but it is coming down. So doesn't matter regardless. We're gonna get this radiator out, but I was hoping we may find something special somewhere where it may be coming, where it may be leaking. We'll see anything yet, but anyway, regardless, let's go ahead and relieve the pressure. And let's go ahead and start getting this radiator drained so we can get the radiator out. Favor, get you a set of spring clamps and busting everything up. So here's something just to show everybody while it's draining. This radiator probably could use a good flushing. Extensive cleaning. So that's probably another reason Johnny was having some issues. But Doesn't look the greatest for sure. So we're going to get this thing removed here in a little bit, and we'll be taking it to the radiator shop that we've got over here in Fort Smith. They do a really good job. Just want to share. So this thing is heavy, and it's drained, but you see those telltale signs of all that bluing there, that corrosion basically from the coolant. It's telling me we got some cracks. Seems like it's coming from up top somewhere. It's probably leaking down something up here. You see all the blue from around here? I'm wondering if it's got a crack. You can't tell until it gets hot. You know, these things are brass or copper, I can't remember, but it could very well be cracked up here, and it doesn't, you can't tell till it's up to temperature, but doesn't matter. You saw how bad it is inside. It's corroded really bad, so we want that clean, all that clean. So we're gonna get this thing ready to send to our radiator shop. Ooh, that's nasty. Yikes. Ugh, not good. Okay, let's continue now. Let's get this fan pulley off. Now we can get to this pulley issue. Wow. Okay. This is a spacer. I got a feeling I may know what's going on already. This spacer, this is just a regular, this is a regular spacer, but this bolt was loose as a goose. I think what's possible, what's happened, it's located off the pilot on the pulley. This thing was loose. I'm wondering if this thing being loose, if it started cracking that pulley. Let's set this aside. Golly, look at that. Oh my gosh. What in the hell? So this, something's, so this is not a factory piece. This is obviously just some spacer. Somebody was trying to get the fan closer to the radiator, but this is, I've never seen this. Something got loose is all I can think of, and it just started putting stress in it, put crack somewhere. Jeez. So here's the question, folks. Can somebody tell me what pulley I need for this 426 Hemi in this 66 Satellite? I mean, I don't know what they were trying to do here. They were having cooling issues. Were they having cooling issues and they thought perhaps they needed to get it closer to the radiator itself and maybe further into the shroud? This is odd. Somebody in the comments, please, any of you Hemi guys, please let me know what the hell you think was going on here with this. Is there a different pulley that's supposed to be longer? Something's odd here. One of the great things about a big block Mopar is we need our mallet. Right. So obviously we got two different designs. This is the one that came off the Hemi, and to be honest with you, it's in good shape, seems to me. I mean, it's in really good shape. At least I can, there's no wobbling. There's a little bearing that's in there. So what I thought was remember on the first video I did, I isolated it down to the water pump. I made the assumption it was the water pump itself, the bearing, but I had no inkling that it was this what was making all the noise and racket. Nevertheless, this is a high volume water pump from Summit Mopar brand, probably a Proform, but it is a high volume, and I think it's going to move more water than the original one Johnny had in here. I'll put this in the box, but we're going to go with this one here. I do like this one better. Looks like we've got the ability to move more water through the system. So yeah, we get ready to put this on. I've got the orange paint, that Street Hemi orange, which is kind of the lighter, not the such an orangey color. That's what this is, Street Hemi orange, I believe. I could be wrong. I've got the other if it didn't work. So yeah, folks, y'all tell me. I am bewildered. Tell me, what do you think happened here? Have you ever seen this happen? I have never seen this happen. I've used spacers, not like this one, but this is probably a very old spacer. But tell me in the comments. I gotta find a spacer, and you guys let me. I mean, a pulley, the right pulley for a 66 426 Hemi car. So let me know. We're gonna get this radiator to the radiator shop and keep this thing going. Keep on making progress. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.